This is Lady Myya. I am here with Jessica Shine. The shine in Jessica. Okay? So let me just give you a rundown, okay? All right. Power sports and marine industry, okay? We're representing aftermarket sector on the motorcycle industry, council board of directors, building quality brands in respectable fields, and she is a B2B, okay? So this is only business to business. It's only business. Wow. Dealing with social media and branding. You guys, events, I will say that. She is the queen of events. All right. Certainly. So let my Mayan tribe say hello to Miss Jessica.
As a wake just comes up. Sorry, I just started crashing pretty loud. Hopefully it's good.
No problem. Look at the view, you guys. It's phenomenal. I want to be there. I already told her. Gorgeous. Look at this. I know. We're all gel right now. We're all gel. So we're just going to get started with me asking you a few questions, if I may. Okay. So how long have you been into motorcycles?
Well, I'm 41, and you figure 9 months of pregnancy before that. Basically my whole life. It's just always been an interest. As a little girl, I'd hear bikes. My dad rode, and my uncle rode, and my brother rode. Of course, basically the men in my family rode, right? Yeah, and even when I was younger, in my 20s, I was a young mom, and I remember a guy that I started seeing. He and his kids had gone out and bought me this Build-A-Bear bunny, but it was a biker bunny, like it was all dressed in leather. And I remember looking back thinking that was really funny because I didn't even have a bike back then, but somehow I just, that was just always my group. And then one day I went out to buy some lawn stuff and came back with a Harley, and and that started my, just at least on the consumer side, that started my passion.
Yes, no, I can see that. I mean, Harleys, that's a bad product all the way around. Everybody wants a Harley, okay? Well, okay.
Everything that I help sell
Women
is
like us.
Harley.
Yeah. Women like us. Okay, so when did you start your company?
It was born on February 14th, 2017. I actually got my Washington LLC issued on Valentine's Day of 2017. So we're 3.5 years now making.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Heart day. Yes.
Now I can celebrate that. It's my heart day. It's my business heart day.
That is amazing. So why did you start your company?
It's funny. I didn't want to be a business owner. I was raised by a small business owner who was raised by a small business owner. And I remember my dad telling me when I was young that I said, why wouldn't you consider me to take over the family business? And he's like, I don't want you to have anything to do with this. You don't want to do this. So, I was perfectly happy with punching a time clock. I lost a job that I really enjoyed on February 2nd of 2017. My favorite holiday, Groundhog's Day. Absolutely nothing to do with performance. A month earlier, I was awarded the Employee of the Month for the highest sales. But as some companies go, there were some internal middle management conflicts. And so I was the, collateral damage. And so it happens. But I was not about to sit down. So 2 days later, I flew out in February. January, February is a very busy time in our industry. That's when all the trade-only events are to introduce the new products to distributors. And so I flew out to an industry show, paid for it out of my pocket last minute. Another manufacturer had said, hey, just come out and work with us. And I was walking the show looking for another job, really. I was using it as a job search. And I ran into one of my buyers who was a buyer for the largest e-com dealer I worked with in the country. And he said, Jess, you're great at what you do. He said, don't look for a job. You need to go start your own business. I was like, consulting, not for people that can't find a job. Like, that doesn't really sound like something I want to do. And he said, no, do it. Build a business. Don't call yourself a consultant. Build a brand business. And I was like, okay. So literally that week I flew home and filed my paperwork and just been building ever since.
Woohoo! Yay!
It really takes a massive challenge or something to kick our butt to do something that we're probably meant to do anyway.
It really does happen like that. It's just crazy because like you get so upset and so distracted at the fact that it did happen,
Yeah.
only to know that like, okay, the door opened for me to do something else.
Because I wouldn't have left. I had so many frustrations. I wanted to do so much with this company, but it would have just held me down. And so, yeah, unfortunately, I'm that stubborn one that has to be kicked out to actually do something better.
Like many of us.
Right.
So we understand. Okay, so I mean that gets me to, you know what? How many employees do you have?
So I'm a sole proprietor. I only have me as far as full-time employees. I have subcontractors. So everybody that I work with is 1099 and works through a company or directly 1099. And I have two admins, one marketing and bookkeeping. So I have 4 people that I work with, but none of them are full-time employees. So in case anybody's reporting to the IRS, I actually don't have full-time employees.
Nobody's reporting you. Everybody's loving you right now and in the view. So, you know, they're distracted. That's always a good thing.
I utilize Upwork a lot, and that is something I will recommend for other small businesses. They handle all of the whatever it is that they need for the people looking for the job. They have a lot of excellent talent out there for web design, for marketing, for admin, for anything. So I do use a lot of Upwork, which is a great tool if you're not ready to bring on full-time employees, or you're like me. I mean, I am my business. I can't clone me. So.
She calls on her all the time. Don't let her. Okay, so the accident. Ugh, I don't want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it.
It was a tough one, but you know, it's made me stronger and more successful because of it. And it's a great conversation starter at shows too, because it was related to power sports and I was in the line of duty, if you will. So yeah, I don't mind talking about it.
Okay.
So we launched in February, and in May, I was repping a product down in South California. Who says that? In Southern California. And I was taken out on the 57 freeway, which runs right in front of Angel Stadium. Yeah, so I was laid up. I had 3 surgeries. I was in trauma for 3 weeks to the tune of $500,000. And then once I was released, I didn't walk for 5 months, I want to say. So that was difficult. You know, I was just starting my business and living off savings, and I really couldn't do a lot. I attended shows in a knee scooter. I did the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in a knee scooter and crutches. It was difficult, but it built me. And then it also financially devastated me. It was a $500,000 injury to which nobody wanted to pay for. So I had to take a little bit of time away from the business and we'll call it restructure my finances. Some people call it bankruptcy. Either way, it about destroyed me. So for a little while there, right after I started walking, I took on with UPS at night. I was driving Uber Eats UPS in the early mornings. I was driving Uber Eats in the evenings and taking part-time temp jobs during the day. So I was literally only home and sleeping and working for 4 hours a day. For about 5 months I did this, and I don't remember much of it. But it definitely built strength and character. It could have been easy just to go back to working for someone else, but this was something that I needed to do, and I wanted to show that I could. And after that few months, I quit working those jobs, 2 of them, and I went back to full focus on my business with just one side job. And that was in 2018, early 2018. And since spring of 18, I've been 100% just building my business. I have 5 full-time brands, traveling around doing the shows, working with the dealers, know. So yeah, accident's not fun, but it took me to circumstances that really tested my character and my strength.
I can understand that. And you're a strong girl, man. Come on now. Like, these people don't understand how strong you are, but hopefully, you know, if they get to know you, like I've gotten to know you, they will understand whenever that comes.
It's a great
So,
conversation. I'm at a show, I wear heels, and I just point to my scar, and then, you know, they're wow. So
so where have you been traveling since?
well, since or just throughout this whole thing, I mean, I've repped products from as far down as Australia. I worked on site in London for quite a long time, and in the west coast of England. I worked on site in Glasgow. I do shows in Northern England. I've do shows in Canada, done rep travel or visits or dealer visits in South America, in Chile and in Buenos Aires. I've worked with dealers in Dominican Republic, in Ireland, some more back in Scotland. I have a company in France I went back to see last year. See, one French company, one British company, 3 American companies right now. And I'm courting a couple other ones. It's funny, the reason, well, part of the reason, not the reason I started, but part of my selection process in my brands is I look at places that I enjoy traveling to and I think, they must have a product we need. And I start searching. I have a process that I go through to scrub for new manufacturers, and then I'll filter down my list to a handful, and then I'll start researching those products and the reviews and people that have used them. And that's how I got my first big one in the UK. I was going to go over there for a weekend with a girlfriend in London, and I thought, well, why don't I pick up a product while I'm there?
Why not? When in Rome, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. Where do I need to travel next? I should go find a product there.
Take me with you. Okay, so you've worked with these companies and different things like that. Like, what do you find is like the most popular items that you're getting out outside of the US?
Oh gosh, that's tough. Because it really depends on, so the products I do, they are aftermarket, right? So if you buy a Harley or a Yamaha or Suzuki, this is basically everything that you could put onto those vehicles that is not Harley, Yamaha, or Suzuki. Same thing with watercraft or anything else that I work with. And it really depends on the purpose. Right now, like the exhaust I work with is in the UK. They do really, really well, but anytime you launch a new brand into a different country, it comes with its own sets of challenges, and people want to buy what they know and trust, so you have to establish that trust and that recognition. And so yeah, it really depends. That's a tough one. That's a big ball. I wouldn't be able to untangle right now.
I know that one. That was extra. That was extra.
Yeah, because I work with everything from literally sunglasses, not the ones I'm wearing. Sorry. Sunglasses to engine parts for Harleys, to exhaust things for scooters, to accessories, phone accessories. I work on lots of different things, so it depends what's coming out of each country. China obviously has a lot of our technology.
A lot, yes. A lot of our aftermarkets, correct. So, like, what careers have you had?
How long is this? No, I'm just kidding. So it's funny. I've worn a lot of different hats, but when they get pulled together, people notice it's always with the same focus. I ran an employment agency in my early careers, and from there I went into legal. I changed, but at that time I was still in college, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. Professionally, I've been a registered representative, which means I have my Series 6 and 63 in finance. I had an opportunity while I was there. I was recruited by a U.S. congressman. They needed somebody to head up their economic development. somebody that knew the business as well, that had a favorable impression because he was not very popular at that time. So I left my position in finance to be the director of economic development. So I worked on Capitol Hill and I represented the 1st Congressional District of Idaho. I represented the businesses of. So if there was pending legislation that could affect them, I let them know what was going on, or they let me know their opinions. I basically was an ambassador between the two. I've been a compliance manager with my AS 9100 certificate, which is essentially an auditor in aerospace. I managed worldwide teams of basically just compliance, making sure they're carrying out the programs the way they're set to do so. And in the middle of those times, I worked with dealerships a couple times. Like after I left politics, before I went into aerospace, I worked with some local dealers and got to know the wholesale distributors for motorcycle parts. It was always just a real keen interest. And when the North American operations of my aerospace company shut down, they lost a major contract that was working with Boeing. So obviously that was the majority of our business here. The whole company was laid off. So I took a few months and I worked with some dealers and I did some of their social media and marketing. And then an opportunity to work for a manufacturer that was Seattle based came up and they handed me their power sports division. Not because I was qualified, I don't know. But they handed me the power sports and I grew their sales and changed a whole bunch of programs with them. And I realized I was really where I needed to be. I understood the details behind this industry, and it's a very different and unique industry.
Yes. I can only imagine. Jeez Louise. Okay.
So yeah, I've been all over the place, but most of it's, been working like as an ambassador, really. I was in employment, I was the ambassador from the employers to the service, the employees. And then in politics, I was between the business owners and the politician. In aerospace, do you know how difficult it is to tell an engineer they're doing something wrong?
Oh, yeah, no, don't do that.
And so there's a certain, like we spoke of earlier, there's a certain personality trait that is required in these that matched. I'd always tell them anybody can be an engineer. It might take some people longer to learn it, but anybody can be an engineer, but not everybody can tell them that they're doing their job wrong and still be friends. So yeah, I've always been kind of a bit of an ambassador between one business and another, really.
Yes. Okay. No, and that makes sense though, because like it just makes you that much more valuable to the people that you are working with, and even if you're not like doing business with them at the same time, you can always pass through or give them ideas to better their jobs so that, their business can take off and hey, let's work together. Let's do it.
It's important no matter what industry. I think it's really important to see what you can learn from other business. And when I was doing the temp work, after my accident, I learned things from a small construction, they're an industry organization for contractors that I was working for. And I remember sitting there listening and going, oh, I used to be really involved with the chamber. Oh, I bet I could apply that to the Motorcycle Industry Council, which is our industry organization. And so I tried to take things that I've learned from every project I've worked on or every employer I've had and try to apply them not only in my own business, but with partner companies or organizations.
That's nice. See, I like that. So, since you got the hookup, you and I, we can, no, I'm just kidding. So what are you planning to do next, Jessica?
Well, I'd like to get back out of the country one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, all health, CDC and political stuff aside, just as far as the business, I need to get back on the road. I have had to definitely accommodate for a change in business because 90% of my business is my personal attention to the retailers and the on-site education. Even e-com, I'll fly out to our big e-com guys and I'll train their inside staff and stuff. And so that has put a damper, but I've definitely had a lot more phone calls and emails happening. I am launching the design aspect of my business now. Yeah, oftentimes I can give suggestions to people on making new products, and maybe I'll tell them and they'll have to buy this from a design from a different person. Because all I can do is a bar, a napkin, whatever. So rather than playing connect the dots, I now have the CAD program in order to design products, to work with some of my manufacturers as more of a partner on that side also. So that's my next little adventure. And then of course, taking on new products. I'm definitely opening the marine side more. I'm courting 4 different manufacturers of marine products right now. In fact, he's my next call today. And then growing some more. I've got one distributor in South America that's been waiting to launch because they were shut down pretty tight. And now they're starting to open up. So just, growing, always growing, finding new ways.
You got to do that though. But, like, you don't ever want to just kind of be stagnant and just sitting still. No.
If you're,
and it's, yeah, because
you be uncomfortable.
Right. The momentum, you just want to keep that going. And that's understandably so. Girlfriend, you got it going on. I love this woman.
I don't know what it is, but hopefully it's good if it's going on.
Yes. No, she's got it. She's got it. But I appreciate you just, cutting out some time for me on the dock, no less, with the gorgeous boats in the background. Hey, y'all, I begged her to have the boats in the background.
Yes.
But
it's not a drop. It's better than just my office or sitting inside. So.
But the wind is blowing and your hair is like, oh my gosh, I just want to be there. I just want to be there. It doesn't matter. I just want to be there. But thank you so much. If there's anything that you would like to add, my Mayan tribe is willing to hear.
Yeah, I just say if you've got a plan or a dream, just stick to it. There's going to be a lot of naysayers. There's going to be a lot of people who tell you it's so difficult, it's so hard. I had to go through a bit of that. You have no idea what you're getting into. And, maybe it's just natural for me because I didn't think it was that bad. But, you can't stop just because you're tired. You can't stop just because you're running out of money. I was literally driving Uber to get enough money for gas in my car. So if there's about a rock bottom, I had no place to live and no pennies to my name. And a year later, I bought a yacht and I've been working all over the world. So, I know there's a lot of stories out there, but I've literally done everything I've ever wanted to do. So I'm happy to be an ear if somebody wants to chat or say what their struggles are. I probably don't have all the answers, but I can probably share one of mine or something if that helps.
See, this is why I love her so much. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Lady Myya. I can't even talk now. Like, subscribe, and share. Do you see these boats? Anyway, I'm trying not to get too distracted, but I have to talk to my homegirl because I want to see these boats. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me with Lady Myya, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.